Residents of the East Coast communities of Enterprise and Beirut have been assured of accelerated agriculture development in their communities this year. This was the message taken to those communities by Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa Saturday as he begins his countrywide outreach exercise to brief farmers about plans for the development of the sector this year. In his first meeting at Enterprise, East Coast DEMERARA, Minister Mustafa told farmers of that community and those surrounding that government has big plans for the growth and development of the sector. Residents of the East Coast communities were given an opportunity to share issues of concern to them, and the issue of lands being made available for agricultural development was raised. Farmers and residents of Enterprise lamented that lands they had been farming on had been repurposed for housing and that they were now deprived of lands to farm on. However, Minister Mustafa assured those affected individuals that government was working to have lands allocated to them in lieu of those that are now slated for housing development.
Let us work, because if we fight, we can't find solution to the problems. We have to work together to resolve issues. I know this area here have a history of where housing have been making more lands and develop more lands for housing schemes. That's a demand. We can't run away from that. The last government never built a new housing scheme, right? So we will continue to do that to make housing affordable to Guyanese, and at the same time we will work with the displaced farmers to find land and see what input we can give them. Because as I said, for me, agriculture is the most important activity because agriculture is responsible for food security. And if we neglect agriculture, we will neglect food security. We can't produce food. And food will gone up. The last 3 years when we had the pandemic, there was a scarcity of food in the world, not in Guyana. We are fortunate that we are producing almost 60% of the food that we are consuming. But we have gone into new crops. We have to change the way we do things. We can't want to do things how we used to do it 10 and 20 years ago now and expect to get different results. We can't expect to mine our cow in every yard anymore or around our house. We will work with you to develop pastures. This area here, last year I went to the parliament, we had money to do some pastures at different areas. I will ask the GLDA to come in here and see where we can get a piece of land to do a pasture for you. So we will plant the grass, we will help you plant the grass, we bring in the grass already, you get the grass seeds already. We will help you to plant the grass, we will help you to get input for your animal, we can help you with breeding bulls, better breeding animal. Those people who are wear swine, we can help you with swine too. Pigs. Those persons, the auntie just said, with the, we get the program with the black belly sheep, we will roll out that shortly, physically. And we will work with farmers to help develop that kind of brand. There are lots of benefit in the agriculture sector. We will move to ensure that you get the help that you need. Don't get frustrated. We will work with each one of you to ensure that what were taken away from you, where you were displaced, that we make things available once again. Agriculture for me is important, and as your Minister of Agriculture, I will work every single day to ensure that we help you. The comrade who raised the issue just now, don't get frustrated. We will work with you and all the other cattle farmers. I know sometimes frustration is stepping in and make all kind of statement. But let me work. Give the system a chance so that we can work to resolve the issue. You see, if you row and me row and everybody row, we can't get a solution to the problem. And that's the way we have been going out, doing things. Let us continue to do that. We have a government that is very proactive, a government that wants to improve your daily fortunes. If you look in the various sectors, as I said, we have seen massive improvement. We have seen a lot of benefits coming out, and I can list it a lot, right? And let us don't be short-sighted.
A team from the Ministry of Agriculture will return to the East Coast community Tuesday to follow up on the matters raised. Across at Beirut, East Coast DEMERARA, Minister Mustafa told those present that government has allocated significant sums of money in the 2024 budget for drainage and irrigation across the country, Beirut included. He called on residents of the community to organize themselves into a farmers group that is representative of all categories of farmers so that government can channel developmental energies in an organized and focused manner.
I know communities like these are very interested in terms of the village or developing the village agricultural system. And I know for a fact that on the East Coast area like these, you all have a lot of land at the back, and those lands need to be developed. But we have to work together. We can't have one residence or two residents working by themselves. So I'm encouraging you. I'll be sending back the team to Beirut here on Monday so that we can form a proper farmers group and work with the farmers group. Yesterday the president was on the East Bank. We went to Coverden, we went to Soesdijk. The day before we went to Mocha, and we went to Providence Farm. And we deal with a lot of issues. And when areas that you find that we have farmers group, they are getting more benefit because what? They are making representation as a group rather than an individual. And we should, or you should work as a group, form yourself into a group, make yourself an active, or have an active farmers group here so that we can work with you. And when I say farmers group, I am not only referring to cash crop farmers, all farmers, livestock farmers, cash crop farmers, poultry farmers, and all, so that the representation can be broad-based and we can work with every single resident. I don't, as Minister of Agriculture, I don't want to leave out anybody who have intention or who have plans to get into the agriculture sector.
Thank you, Minister.
Agriculture is too important for us to leave out anyone. We have seen what has happened when we had the pandemic. We have seen since we got back into government in 2020, we have seen the budgetary allocation in the agriculture sector has increased tremendously. So much so that Monday, in another daytime from now, Monday, you'll hear the Minister of Finance will present his budget to the National Assembly. And in that budget, you will know and you will listen that the productive sector, the agriculture sector is doing very good. And I need you in this community to contribute to that so that your community, your livelihood, your revenue can increase. And as a government, I want to assure you here this afternoon that we will work with you. We will try as much as possible to develop your land so that once again it can become productive.
The Agriculture Minister also assured the farmers that government would be working with them to develop what he described as integrated farms along the East Coast Corridor.
But as I said, when we are doing agriculture, we can't only do agriculture to base on one area, to do cash crop alone. These times we have to look at integrated farming, integrated farm. So whilst you're doing your cash crop, you can do some aquaculture in the same area. You can do some livestock rearing in the same area. You could come together as a group, pull up the acreage that you have. Instead of doing farming on 2 acres, 50 farmers come together and do farming on 100 acres. You take 25 acres to do cash crop farming. You do another 25 acres to do aquaculture. You do a 25 acre for poultry farming. You do another 25 acres for livestock farming. So those are the integrated things that I'm talking about. And that's the way we will work with you. So the team coming back to Beirut next week will work to form a farmers group at the reforesting. And then we'll work. Or if you have the farmers group already, I heard the chairman with the speech just now. We will work with them and expand the group, and we will deal to ensure that we put all these systems in place.
Responding directly to the issues raised in relation to drainage and irrigation, among others, Minister Mustafa assured those issues will be addressed in a structured but timely manner.
I want to make the point that we'll do all the drainage in this community.
Lovely, Minister.
Right? All the drainage. Lionel will be tasked with the responsibility. He will be back here on Monday afternoon to meet with you all, to do an assessment, and then we'll deal with the drainage.
Correct, I'll be.
Also, when we finish the drainage, then as long as you identify your plots, we will help you to do the plowing. So we can prepare the land for you, help you. As the auntie rightly said, that the last time we helped them plow the land, we will plow it again for you all.
Yes.
Right? We will give you the planting material free of cost. So Nari will make that free of cost to you, the planting material. And the pump, we will give a pump to this community so that you can have the water to pump out.
Yes.
So those are the things that you asked for. In relation to markets for your produce, GMC is here. Ashraf is around. He will talk to you just now on your market for your chicken. So we can find market. We can get market now for you if you get enough chicken. Or purchase all the chicken for you today. Right?
Yes, sure.
So talk to Ashraf. Right? So you could get all the chicken. So the backlands that you all said that is in bush with heavy vegetation, we will work to clear it for you all. And I hope when I come back here in a few months' time that the land will be productive. When I come here, I want to hear that you are planting. And I want also to see the different kind of produce that you all are producing. So I am tossing the farmers group. The chairman is behind me here and the secretary is right in front of me. To get organize everyone so that let us work together. Now, livestock farming, we have been working with the livestock farmer. I know Anderson is here. He can tell you that we have a good program in the swine program that we have. We can work with the swine farmers to develop their farm. We can work with the cattle farmers. Last year we brought in the country 64 breeding bulls from Texas. We can help you to get a proper breeding animal here. We also we have increased our artificial insemination program. We are now doing embryo transplant at Ibini, where we have targeted 300 head of cattle with a Brazilian company. So that is where we are developing the livestock industry. We are also working on a program to help small farmers with black giant birds so that they can produce their own eggs. So a number of programs we have from the Ministry of Agriculture. And we will work with you to realize your potential, to develop your community, to develop the agriculture sector, and make the resources that are available by this government, make it available to every single farmer in your community.